Hello student, let us enter into the one more session of our determinants. It's a session number 4, determinant. As per our schedule, what we are going to do? We are going to repeat the previous topic. Always we revise the previous topic, and since previous topic is very important, then first of all we'll see that revision part, that is properties of determinant. Because today we are going to solve many questions of exercise 4.2, and totally I told you last time exercise 4.2 depends upon properties of determinant. So today first of all recall our memories. Let us see 6 properties of a determinant. As I told you last time also, nobody is going to ask you the statement, but without that statement, without knowing about that statement, you will not be able to solve the exercise 4.2. So first of all, let us recall our memories. What is property number 1? We can interchange rows and columns of a determinant. There will be no change in the value of a determinant. That is property number 1. Go through the last session, you will be knowing about all the 5-6 properties. So first property says that if you are interchanging the rows and a column, there is no change in the value of a determinant. Now what is second property? Second property says that whenever there is a interchange in a rows and rows or column and column, then the value of determinant will be differing by minus sign. Okay, so that is property number 2. What is property number 3? Property number 3 is if all the terms of any rows and columns are same, then value of a determinant will be 0. That is property number 3. And I told you many questions are depending, many objective questions are depending upon property number 3. So property number 3 is whenever the values or elements of any rows or 2 rows or 2 columns are same, then directly you write the value of determinant 0. What is fourth property? Fourth property is like this: if any rows or column is multiplied with any constant k, otherwise if you want to multiply elements of any rows and column with the constant k, non-zero constant k, automatically the value of a determinant will be multiplied with that constant k. That is fourth property. Last 2 properties are very important. What is the second last property? Property number 5. Property number 5 says that if elements of any rows or columns are written in the form of a sum of the terms or the difference of the term, so that can be expressed in the form of either sum or difference of a 2 determinant. Go through the previous session properly. Until unless you don't know this 5-6 property, you will not be able to understand also, and you will not be able to do our new exercise 4.2. Now most important property, as I told you last time, it is property number 6. Today itself you will realize we are going to use this property many times in solving many questions. So come on, again, what is that property number 6? Property number 6 says, and that as per the necessity, anywhere we are not going to use property number 6. All 5-6 properties we are going to use as per our necessity. So property number 6 says that you can multiply members of any rows or a column with any constant k, non-zero constant k, and you can add with the any rows and columns, corresponding rows or columns of that particular determinant. Why we are going to do so? Where it is necessary? Today you will come to know. Today I am going to use that property twice or thrice. So again, last property is you can multiply element of any rows or any column with constant k, and you can add with the any other rows or column. The value of determinant is not going to change. So there are 6 important properties. Go through that properties. It's a revision part of today. Now we are going to see some important question of exercise 4.2. So today in this session, my targets are some questions of exercise 4.2. So first of all, I selected easy most question, maybe up to 1 marks. Question number 1. Last time already I started exercise 4.2. just to tell you how to use properties of a determinant. Today we are going to do 2-3 questions of such type. So what is exercise 4.2? What is question number 1? They say that there is one determinant given and they are asking you to prove its value equal to 0. 99% if any determinant is asked to be proved 0, then usually we use that property number 3. So come on, how to do it? We will start with the left hand side. Now, as last time I told you, the one question can be solved in many ways. One of the suggested way is on the board. It is not necessary that you solve this question by this way. By using some other property, you can do it in some other ways also. One of the suggested way or the method which strikes me that I am using. So come on, left hand side, the given determinant. Now what is that given determinant? X, A, X plus A, Y, B, Y plus B, Z, C, Z plus C. One of the method is add these two columns, replace column 1 by adding the column 1 and 2. Automatically you will find that first column and the last column will be identical. That you can do as a practice. I am using property that is written here. Always whenever you use that property, side by you write operating or applying. Which property you are applying or operating, that you write, otherwise marks will be deducted. Now what property I am going to use? Replace column 3. Replace column 3 by column 3 minus column 1. I am using property number 6 of that determinant. So replace column 3 by whichever the column you are operating, you write it here. So replacing column 3 by column 3 minus column 1. So what will happen? When you are going to subtract column 3 by column 1, X, Y, Z are going to be removed. So here we got our next step. So now you see X, Y, Z as it is, A, B, C as it is, but the last column, third column which is modified will become A, B, C. Now whenever two rows or columns are identical, remember that, recall your memories, property number 3. So what property number 3 says? Whenever two columns are identical, then no need of solving it, don't expand it. According to property number 3, column 2 and column 3 are equal, so directly you write the value of determinant 0 which you are supposed to prove. Easy most question, 1 marks question, and 99% whenever they ask that prove any determinant equal to 0, most of the time we use the property number 3. But whichever the property, whichever the step, whichever the theoretical part you use, mention it side by, otherwise marks will be deducted. You are not supposed to solve it directly. So exercise 4.2 totally depends upon properties of determinant. One more easy question I have selected, but there is one example also, just like question number 3. This is important. It can be asked for 1 to 2 marks. Observe the digit properly. And again you can do it by some other method also. One of the method which I am going to suggest, see here, question is prove that, again one determinant is given 2, 3, 5, 7, 8, 9, 65, 75, 86 and prove it equal to 0. Observe the digit properly. What I used property number 6. What I did? I replaced column 3 by column 3 minus 9 times of column 2. It is not necessary to follow my method. You can use other method also. You will be able to get the answer what they are asking for. So come on, what I did? I replaced this column 3 by column 3 minus 9 times of column 2. So come on, don't touch column 1, don't touch column 2. But column 3 will be like this, 9 7 ja 63, so 65 minus 63, 9 8 ja 72, so 75 minus 72, then 9 9 ja 81. What I did? I multiplied all the elements of column 2 by 9 and then I subtracted with the column 3. So the new determinant is like this, 2 3 5, 7 8 9, 2 3 5. Again you see, column number 1 and column number 3 are equal. So by property 3, it is equal to 0. If this question is for 2 marks, side by you write that property which you are using. If it is up for 1 marks, you can do it directly mentioning that which property you are going to use. So question number 1, 2, 3, 4 or up to 5, it's an easier one. In most of the question, you are supposed to start with the determinant and they will be asking you to prove it equal to 0. Now we are moving to the some typical question, slightly harder question than what question just now I did. I have selected question number 8, and again question number 8 can be done in a many ways. One of the method I am suggesting, and usually what I tell student, whenever you find 1 1 1 either in a row wise or column wise, be happy. Why be happy? Then you got a one definite method or a pattern, you blindly follow that pattern. Now what I am finding is there are many questions in exercise, in a miscellaneous exercise and in example also. So as soon as I see 1 1 1 as a members of one of the column, I am happy. I know that what I am supposed to do. So either row wise or a column wise, if you find 1 1 1, 99 times out of 100 you follow the method which I am telling you. During the explanation of solving of a determinant also, what I told you, that if any elements or of a rows or columns are 0, then expand in that way. So what I am going to do, now there are 3-4 such type of question. 2 questions today I am going to do. 1 1 1 I am finding here, and what they are asking you, now it's not equal to 0. One determinant is given and question number 8 says that prove that this determinant is equal to a minus b, b minus c, c minus a. So come on, using property 6. What is that property 6? Replace R2 by, what my aim is now, I am going to make here 0 and here also 0. If I make 0 0 here, then it will be easy for me to expand this determinant. So replacing R2, I am replacing this R2 by R2 minus R1, and replacing 2 properties I am telling you directly. Replace R3 by R3 minus R1. So come on, what it will be? 1 minus 1 0, then b minus a, then b square minus a square. Similarly 1 minus 1 0. As soon as 2 zeros you find, be happy, immediately answer follows. That is our target. So 0 0 here, b minus a, c minus a, b square minus a square, c square minus a square. So you got this step. Now in this step you will have to use algebraic formula. See that b minus a, c minus a is as it is, but b square minus a square can be written as b minus a, b plus a, c minus a, c plus a. Take b minus a common. This is one of the property of our determinant only. Take out b minus a common from second row, c minus a common from third row, then we are left with this determinant. Now we will see our next step. So we took out b minus a and c minus a common, then our determinant becomes 1 0 0, a square, 1 b plus a, 1 c plus a. Now whenever you find 2 0, expand that determinant with respect to a11. First time we are doing, so I wrote this step, it is not necessary. So expand it just like a minor determinant. So as soon as you expand, so 1 will be out, c plus a 1 ja c plus a, then b plus a 1 ja b plus a, and in between minus sign. Then a and a will be cancelled. So b minus a, c minus a, and c minus b will be our part of the answer. But if you check, right hand side is not like this. So you will have to interchange the places. B minus a can be written as a minus b, taking out minus sign. Then c minus a, leave it as it is. C minus b, take minus sign again, so it will become positive at the front, and it will be b minus c. Usually I tell the student to write the answer in the form of cyclic order. What is that cyclic order? A, B, C you write in a corner and then minus sign. So answers will be always in the form of A minus B, B minus C and C minus A. So this is question number 8 part 1. Question number 8 So this question can be asked for 2 to 3 marks. Question number 8 part 2 is slightly harder and more important than question number 8 part 1. Now see the difference. There row wise we got 1 1. Here we got a 1 1 1 column wise. As I told you earlier, be happy when you get a 1 1 1 either row wise or column wise. So here we are getting the elements column wise 1 1 1. So come on, we'll start with the left hand side. Don't see right hand side a big expansion you are finding, but that you will get automatically. Now your target is make here 0 0. Here also 0, here also 0 as in the previous question. So what you can do, apply both the properties together. So what I am doing is replace C2 by C2 minus C1. Then replace C3 by C3 minus C1. As soon as you are going to do this, you will find 0 0. 1 minus 1 0 and 1 minus 1 0, and subtract all the elements also. So B minus A, B cube minus A cube, C minus A, C cube minus A cube. Try to make as many 0 you can. It will be easy for you to expand that determinant. So that I did. I got now my target. 2 zeros I got. Together with, you will have to use some algebraic formula if you are finding any algebraic formula on the way. Here B cube minus A cube and C cube minus A cube can be replaced by 8th standard or 9th standard algebraic formula. B cube minus A cube can be written as B minus A, B square plus AB plus A square. Similarly, C cube minus A cube can be written as C minus A, C square plus AC plus A square. What is the advantage of writing this? You can take out common from this column B minus A. You can take out common from this column C minus A. As soon as you take out common, our next step will be B minus A is out, C minus A is out. So now my determinant is 1 0 0, A cube, 1 B square plus AB plus A square, 1 C square AC plus A square. Whatever I am remaining with, we are going to write. Now expand with respect to A11. Why with A11? I told you, as soon as you get the zeros in any rows and column, expand with that particular element. Here I am finding 2 zeros, so expand with respect to A11. Now it's a minor determinant, you cross multiply as you did earlier. So C square plus AC plus A square, you write it as it is. Then minus times of B square minus AB minus A square. As soon as cross multiply, in between you write minus sign. So advantage is A square and A square is going to be cancelled. Then make a group of similar elements. C square minus B square, you write it together and factorize it. So C square minus B square can be written as C plus B, C minus B. Then take out A common from AC and minus AB. So you will get a C minus B again. Take out C minus B common from the bracket. So now what I am left outside that bracket? B minus A as it is, C minus A as it is, and C minus B I took it out common. So what will be left in the inside the bracket? C plus B plus A. Now see our right hand side, what we are supposed to prove? All the three factors in a proper order. Proper order means cyclic order. If a right hand side is given, then you make it in a cyclic order. Otherwise, if it is not given, then also they expect answer in that way. So what is that cyclic order? A minus B first of all, then B minus C, then C minus A. By taking out a minus sign common, you can write it in a cyclic order. Inside we are left with A plus B plus C. So this is our right hand side. In that way we get the answer. You will have to practice lot of questions. There are many examples also. In coming session we are going to do some harder questions. Okay, bye.